Hi everyone, it's Brenda. I received a little bit of goodies from Niki, who is Serenity6883 here on YouTube. Hi Niki. We were talking and she had sent me all this beautiful yarn trim. And she had told me, oh, I have an ulterior motive, she actually wanted me to make a project with this, an easy one, so she could use different types of yarn because she is a beginner. And okay, with this, anything like this, it's kind of like a pom-pom eyelash or a mix like this is. It can be a little tricky. And sorry about my nails, guys. It's permanent marker for prepping for this video. It's more awkward to work with this than it is hard. When you get used to it, it's just like regular, just crocheting with just a regular worsted weight. You just know how to use, just have to know how to use it. So I'm going to try to show you what I mean. Okay, this is where the permanent marker came in. You saw that before, but you can see now where there are, hopefully you can see now, where there are, I colored with black here, between the pom-poms. That's actually where you'll do your stitching. You do not stitch where these pom-poms or little danglies are, okay? When you do that, it just makes it impossible to see your stitches, and then the yarn doesn't make your project look how it was intended to be. I'm going to, now you did ask, I know Nikki, you asked, you said, a flower or a heart. I do have patterns for those already, so I figured I'd do something a little different. Because once you learn how to use this, you can make those flowers, you can make those hearts. So instead of being repetitious, I figured I'd try a little something new, because you did mention another item. So I am going to try to do that for you. I do have a pattern for it, and sometimes it's a little harder on the camera to do it because you're sandwiched. So normally I would just kind of go in here and tie my knot, and I'm going to tie on, and if you watch, it's a little bit different. I don't do it the same way. I will make a loop where there's two pom-poms, okay, and then drape it behind, and I will pull my, I know it's really hard to see, sorry guys, I'll stick in and pull up that thread, and just pull that tight, and if it hooks on the one little loop, there you go, on the nub, see? So it's just thread. There's not a little nub except for up here, okay? A little pom-pom. And then we're going to start. And this is super easy. Like I said, just we are going to work in these straight pieces, not the puffs. So you'll just chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay? Now see, if I didn't color these, it would be really hard on camera to see the double threads, okay? Because that's where you need to go into. And when you're using this yarn, you can see it. Believe me, you'll see it. If you sometimes it'll get twisted. You'll just have to turn it over. But you'll see the double threads. You will not need to color them. If you are having a hard time because you have I know some people have a hard time seeing the stitching. You can color them in between. I would suggest something water soluble so you can kind of wet it and get it to bleed out when you're done, and then just air dry it. But yeah, you really shouldn't have to color them like this. I just did it so it's easier to see on the camera. So okay, for the wings, I'm only going to do one, and I'll tell you how to do the second one. You just chain 7, and then in the first double set here, we're going to grab in between these two, see, on this first open strand, and we're just going to single crochet again, okay, and then we're going to grab here between those two. There's your first one made. So now we'll go back into here, which is our next set, and this will be 2, because we're only going to do single crochets right now, okay? Our next one here, reach above that puff and pull through, reach through, pull through, is 3, and then in here, below these two, sorry guys, it's kind of hard hard looking through the camera. Here is 4. Right. See, can you see them? I'm trying to make sure I'm staying in camera. I'm trying to get in them. See, reaching up. And only on the straightaways you want to crochet. There's 5. And then there's one more for 6, okay? We did 7 crochets, but when you make that turn, you're going to use 1 for the 7 singles. So there will be a total of 7, but really you're only making 6, okay? And there is going to be the top of your ring. Now it will not look black like that. Yours will be completely white if you're using the white. But this way you can see where all the stitching happened, okay? Now when you turn it over, this would be your front. Now you wouldn't have that dark color, but all these little puffs would be the top of your wing, okay? Now both wings start this way. The only thing that's different is the next row, and that's pretty easy. All we're going to do is turn, so this side's facing, and you will have to push these puffs down so you can see the top 2 threads. So once you pull these down, you'll see right here the top 2 threads. So this is where it's going to get a little tricky. You need to go into your first stitch, and we want to lose a stitch each side so it kind of like pulls in a little. We only want to have 5 stitches this time, so the last stitch we're just going to, yeah, this one we'll just slip stitch here. Make it easier for you. Just go up and grab between the first, this pom-pom and this one on the first straightaway, and just slip stitch that, okay? And then we're going to go over to the next stitch and we're going to go in. Now this is going to be the one that is furthest from your body, so of whatever you want to put this on, because I said I'd be making wings. We're going to count to 5 of these puffs, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So here's 4 and 5. We want to lay that string that's between the 4th puff and the 5th puff over your hook and pinch them together. And now you're going to pinch them between your middle finger and your pointer finger, and use your thumb on your work to slowly pull them through 1, okay? And then pull through the other. And the only reason I'm saying to pull through 1 at a time is because sometimes your work will get tangled, and if you lose it through one piece, you're going to have to kind of pull it out and start again. And pulling this yarn out, you can do it. You can. It's a headache, but yes, you can do it. See, like I dropped my thread. If you're been crocheting for a while, you'll be able to find, sorry guys, you'll be able to find your stitch, but if you're still beginning, it may still be kind of difficult for you to find that. So I'm going to go back in here and redo this one here, just to be sure it's there for you. Okay. So now you have this long loop hanging off, okay? Now that might be too long for what you're looking for. I don't know exactly what you're specifying for, but this will curl up. The whole point is to, pull it just a little bit so it is snug, but you'll see how it looks when it's done. I promise it will not be silly looking. And then we're going to go into our next loop here, and we are going to count up between 3 and 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 pom-poms. So we will bend that in between and lay that thread that's right between the 3rd and 4th pom-pom. And we're going to pull that through and then pull it through again. And then there is your, hold on, the tail keeps getting in the way. There are your 2 loops right now hanging down. So they're kind of like the free-flowing feathers, okay? And I know you wanted something different. Well, this is an original pattern for you, so hopefully you like it. Go into our next stitch, and we're going to do the same thing. Okay, we're going to count between 3 and 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. This one is actually a little bit longer, and I'll show you why. How easy that is to mess up. See, there's actually one right here that's coming off. That one you need to count too, otherwise it would be way off, okay? So you want to make sure that the first one's counted, okay? So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to go between 3 and 4 again. Lay that thread across the center. Pull these off. Go through the stitch here. And pull through the other thread on your hook. And I'm sorry for it being hard to see, but this is really kind of the best I can do with this thread. This is why a lot of people will not use this for demonstration purposes. And they say it is for more challenging, but the patterns are so easy. I don't believe it's a challenge. I believe it's more awkward. And it intimidates a lot of people because of that, but it's really not that bad. Just got to get used to it. So we're going to go into our next stitch, and then we're going to go between 2 and 3. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. And make sure that you lay it over the top between the two. And we're going to pull through our stitch and then pull through the one on our hook. Sorry guys, I'm getting a little backwards here and watching the camera. And then we are going to go into our next stitch here, and we are going to count and do it between the first and the second. So this one is just like reaching up and doing our normal ones. So we will pull that through and through. And then for our last one up here, we're going to go into our last stitch here, and we're just going to do a single crochet. Now this is where you would reach up, grab one more like this, and we will cut our thread probably right at the base of, no, not right at the base, but very close to the end of 2 pom-poms away. And then you'll have to pull it through, and you'll, instead of tucking this end, this long string, you could actually make it part of your wing if you wanted to, just by trimming it to fit in here to fill it out. And how you would, this would be actually the wing that would be closest to the body, because this is the draping part. So how you would do it if you wanted to make your right wing of your character is you would do your chain 7, do single crochet across 6 times. Then you would do your slip stitch in, your, well, okay, no, yeah, your slip stitch in, you'll do a single crochet, then you'll go between the first and second puffs for the next stitch, and the stitch after that you would go between the second and third puffs. The next stitch for that you would go through the second and third, and then you would go through the third and fourth for the next, and then the fourth and fifth for the last one, and then fasten off in your last stitch, and you would have your right wing. So you would have a matching pair. And let me get an image really quick so you could kind of see about what they would look like done up. The only one I have close is my Yay Snow Day. But let me cut this thread really quick. Now you can do them fuller in a different pattern, but I wanted something that was full at the top but had like a little bit of airiness to it, so you could give it dimension by squishing it up like this. But like I said, it is really up to you. And then that is just a rough idea of, yeah, let me see if I can get this to scroll down, of what it would look like with an image. And it does actually look a lot cuter in person than it does on the camera, especially with all the black in there. It kind of makes it look, I don't know, I guess like maybe she fell down the chimney or something. But that's how you would do it if you're looking for a wing like this, and you wanted a little aeration on it. Otherwise, you could just continue in single crochet pattern down and make a triangle. Just come in one stitch by slip stitching in each time, and it'll give it a nice little jagged effect coming down. And it will be a little difficult to see with this yarn, but if you pull at it and, you know, puff it up, you will see the gradation here. And it will continue that, so you can do that as well. I just figured I'd show you something just a little different with like a little loop fringe on the bottom. And I didn't want you to get upset with me, hun. I know you've been seeing other crochet videos I've been doing going up, and they were actually pre-recorded, but I wanted to get to this for you. I hope this helps. If not, give me, you know, leave me a message or private message me and I'll do another tutorial with it for you. But that is actually how you crochet with it, going in between those loops, and it'll make a world of difference and make it a lot easier for you. Just practice with it and you'll be doing it in no time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thank you so much, Nikki, for the beautiful trim. I love it. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching.